Hello everybody, this is Ricky Nowis here, and welcome to the fifth and final part of episode 67, Ricster Diaries. It is Tuesday, the 4th of October. The time's just gone 20 past 9 in the morning, and today we are going home. This week has gone really quick, but I will say I have fully enjoyed myself. I will definitely do more big holidays like this. So, the journey home. And actually our train's not due out till late this evening, because our train out of London King's Cross does not leave till 1927, which is a Grand Central service from London King's Cross to Sunderland, riding that as far as York. Then from York, we'll be on the 2217 Transpennine Express. Hopefully it should be no for free service, bound for Scarborough, and with any luck, we might make the last Scarborough Sevens service, which will take me back home. Anyway, today we're hoping to spend a little bit more time in London before we do go home. Holidays go really quick. I thought this one's gone too quick. Anyway, just go say goodbye to go over to my relatives, say goodbye to them, and have some breakfast. So let's go out there, and yeah, we'll be on the way home.
Station Ivor. Mind the gap between the train and the platform.
It's now. Is that half an hour going to Elizabeth line? Street. There we go.
This is the train to Abbey Wood via Canary Wharf. Next station, Tottenham Court Road. Change for Central and Northern. If you see something that doesn't look right, speak to staff or text British Transport Police on 61016. We'll sort it. See it, say it, sorted. Station, Tottenham Court Road.
29.
train to Abbey Wood via Canary Wharf. Next station, Farringdon. Change for Circle, Metropolitan, Hammersmith City and National Rail Services. Exit for trains to Gatwick and Luton airports. Next station, Farringdon. This is the train to Abbey Wood via Canary Wharf. Next station, Liverpool Street. Change for Central, Circle, Hammersmith City, Metropolitan, Northern, London Overground lines, National Rail Services and the.Elizabeth line services, Sheffield via Stratford. Exit for trains to Stansted and Southend Victoria. Next station, Liverpool Street.
Okay, so number 49. Here at London Liverpool Street, and we'll get a bit of a nostalgia ride.
The train at Adelante is the 11:55 Greater Anglia service to Southend Victoria.
Oh, look at these.
Stratford, Sheffield, Whitford,
321317.
Rochford, Southend Devon, Peterborough and Southend. This train is due 3
Just about to London Liverpool Street. There's one station yesterday, where was that? And we're going to film there. It's all next up one to Stratford.
Please follow social distancing advice and spread out throughout the train as much as possible.
745, round home service to Norwich.
Normally on phone, like, even when it's like all in one Please do not leave any belongings unattended. They may be removed without notice.
You're going to be like that with me, no problem. And I'm not being good things too good for you. And when I feel like it, I'll call you. You know what? I'm not even going to respond to him.
If you see something that doesn't look right, speak to staff or text the British Transport Police on 61016. We'll sort it. See it, say it, sort it.
Who knows we're going to Ricster, don't we?
Yes. Yeah, but it's the timing of the train.
No.
Hope she does. Just bloody something here, haven't we?
No, that minute like that, yeah. It's just that sometimes, if we went down there, we'd have to go to Victoria.
Southend Victoria. Yeah. Well, this is the right line.
Street and Stratford. Arrive at platform 10 will be the 12:25 Greater Anglia service to Clacton-on-Sea, calling at Shenfield, Ingatstone, Chelmsford, Whitton, Colchester, Wivenhoe, Thorpe-le-Soken and Clacton-on-Sea. This train is formed of 10 coaches. This train is currently between London Liverpool Street and Stratford. Comfort, this station operates a no smoking policy. This train is formed of 10 coaches. This train is currently at Forest Gate. Street, calling it London Liverpool Street only. This train is formed of 10 coaches. 24-hour CCTV recording is in operation at this station for the purpose of security and safety management. service to Colchester Town, calling at Romford, Shenfield, Chelmsford. This train is currently between London Liverpool Street and Stratford. For your safety and comfort, this station operates a no smoking policy. Platform 9 for the 12:52 Greater Anglia service to London Liverpool Street. Calling at London Liverpool Street only. This train is formed of 10 coaches.
Well, good finish there now. It's just gone 1 o'clock.
This train is currently at Romford.
We're now going to go to central London. Let's apologise that today's been a little bit lacking, but like I said, we'll film this evening, and plus I'll be invited back for dinner, so it's all good. Anyway, we're going to go for the Central Line now. I'll go to the busy shopping street.
The next station is St Paul's.
14:57. We'll make way to Blackford job now. 15:11. Elizabeth line. Service to Reading. I'll be back in a few hours' time. It don't matter. Maybe there's how much should I have. A short but sweet day. Here's our train through for 5032. Train code is 9 Romeo 18. Some features I like on these to and fro rail trains. Remember how it's done? Like that. Right. Let's go aboard this train then.
This is the train to Reading.
We have a very heavy suitcase.
Next station, Ealing Broadway.
Going back home later on.
Change for Central, District and National Rail Services. Doesn't look right. Speak to staff or text British Transport Police on 61016. We'll sort it. See it, say it, sorted. Please be aware that Oyster is not valid between West Drayton and Reading.
the.Elizabeth, which part of it apparently by November could be open, or could be open to Stratford. So potentially linking west to the east via central London. Okay, back at Langley. It's 4:15. I thought the second was a little bit strange, but allow me to explain. Going back home to relatives, grab some dinner, say goodbye, and then we're back on TfL, but we got to the 1743 TfL into London, and across to London King's Cross, so I'll see you in a bit. Well, here we go everyone, the homeward journey begins. At 1743 to Elizabeth line service to London Paddington. Homeward journey begins. 236, I had this year the earlier one, I think. Oh well. That's where we need to go, just up these stairs here.
The next station is Edgware Road. Change for Circle and District Line services via High Street, Kensington.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform.
The next station is Great Portland Street.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform.
The next station is King's Cross and Pancras. Change for the Northern, Piccadilly and Victoria lines, national and international rail services.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform.
King's Cross. Which do you think is our Adelante? This one, 180, 101. Or this, 180, 103. Who knows? So it's one of those two. Anyway, one of them just came in from Sunderland. I think that's not going to go to Mount Green Depot. So it could be 103.
Probably fish it under it. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, you're stuck in the air.
Cheers, mate. That's brilliant.
Yeah, no worries.
Thank you so much.
Anything good?
Inspector Montalbano. Getting a bit saucy. Oh, sorry, mate.
No, go for it. Go for it. Yeah.
This is a Grand Central service for Sunderland, calling at York, Thirsk, Northallerton, Eaglescliffe, Hartlepool and Sunderland.
Safety information is located in the saloon.
This 1017 Transpennine Express service to Scarborough. Our 70 conductor on this journey. We'll find me located towards rear of the train. Remember, it's my class window check. If those are the reservations, this is a 5-carriage train and 5-carriage B. B, C, D. We flying first class. Not briefly, not selling yet. On a fitting seat. So I'm sorry, this seat. Left York, well, our next stop, to see where we might be to Scarborough.
This is a Transpennine Express service to Scarborough. This service will be calling at Seamer and Scarborough. The next stop will be Seamer.
It's this side.
Or it could be this side.
Oh.
Yeah, well, apart from one, I'm sure it's this side.
All right. See Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, this side. Okay. Consider support speech. Seminary. We are coming home. 6 days. Oh yeah. Cheers, thank you. Let's get this going on for you guys. Here we go. Back in terra firma. There she goes, the last 7A of the day. How did we make that? Right, well, hello everybody. It's been a while, but it is the Tuesday the 1st of November, nevertheless, and now it's gone 18:37 in the evening. Well, I'm sorry it's a late conclusion, but be rather busy with work and social commitments. But anyway, let's conclude the Devon and London holiday. So, our journey started on a Wednesday. I think it was 27th or 28th. Well, I think it's 28th of September. Anyway, we caught the Transpennine Express series from Scarborough to York. That's currently one of only a few trains a day that extends through to Leeds. But from December timetable change, it's all changed on the Transpennine Express network, and Northern too, as we'll soon see. Anyway, at York, we then had a good hour before our train, but we decided to leave for plenty of time rather than leaving it till the last minute because they didn't want a chance in case there's any problems later on. But we did see cross country HST on the 8:44, making York to Plymouth. I would have booked that train, but the price was nearly 25 quid more to ride a HST. So, yeah, it wasn't worth it really for that. Anyway, but I caught the 9:44, paid a cross-country Voyager service, running from all the way down to Exeter St David's. And up until now, is my longest ever train ride, which I've taken. The journey went smoothly until we got down to Taunton. Unfortunately, there was a signalling problem which was causing havoc on the Great Western Railway services and cross-country services. So we were heavily delayed by 39 minutes. But it didn't matter because we got to Exeter St David's. I had a very busy train session as well. I was not expecting to see South Western Railway running because, they were expecting to do engineer works and supposed to be well-placed on buses. But South Western Railway did run with their 159s on frequent services to and from London Waterloo via Salisbury. I will say, good station. Some more variety this time, playing sprinter units, GWR Castle sets, and plenty of cross-country high-speed train sets as well. Before we caught a pair of the GWR 150s down to Paynton via Dawlish. Now, They did the unit swap at Exeter from a Thames Turbo unit to Payneham 150s. Maybe the Thames Turbo unit might go into Exeter sidings, or it might have formed with return service back to Exmouth. Anyway, at Paynton, we checked into the hotel with no problems at all. A lovely hotel it was. Recently taken over by new hotel guests, and very close to seafront as well. Anyway, after we had dinner, we went round sightseeing very briefly. But there's some kind of charity event going on because there's motorbikes and and a rock concert as well. Hence the music you heard back there. But the nightlife of Paynton is actually really nice. So that concludes day 1 of the holiday. Moving on to day 2 of our holiday. And the second day, we only travelled a few miles up the line, but we went to one of the many great line side areas to go trainspotting in the UK, and that is up to Dawlish. So, to start the day, we did some sightseeing around Paynton first, which was absolutely lovely. You could see all the way up to Torquay as well. I believe you could walk up all the way up to Torquay, but it is a fair walk. We had to walk around the harbour as well, which was lovely stuff, and up and down the pier. So, yeah, it's a nice way to spend a few hours in the morning just to really unwind after the day's travelling we had yesterday. RHTT, that's Top Hotel 37s, working the frequent RHTT train. Anyway, went to our first station, which was Newton Abbot. So we caught a Great Western Railway Thames Turbo unit, but nevertheless. And first class is declassified on Thames Turbo units on the Exeter to Exmouth to Paynton workings. But yeah, good station Exeter. We've had no problems at all filming there. We've filmed just over an hour's worth and a lot of variety. It's a very busy station, Newton Abbot is. And again, plenty of castle sets, cross country HST set, and everything really. Then next up we caught a GWR unit up to Dawlish, one of the places I've always wanted to go to, and finally I can safely say Dawlish has been ticked off the list. It is a beautiful line side area to go to, and you can walk, apparently you can walk all the way up to Starcross as well, which is about 3.5 miles from Dawlish. Now I went towards the west side first, and you see what the view's like for there, and very nice. Then I walked up towards the east side of Dawlish, walking towards Dawlish Rowan, and stunning line side location, beautiful sights, and of course the trains as well speeding through. With nevertheless, I've just realised about hourly train stopping at Dawlish Rowan on the hourly service. But I will say, absolutely breathtaking, absolutely beautiful, and also from Starcross you can catch a ferry to Exmouth as well. So that was, unfortunately we didn't see it, but things only went throughout the summer season. But it's so beautiful down at Dawlish. Anyway, we're walking back towards from Dawlish Road to Dawlish. We then caught a Great Western Railway Payneham 50 service on a heavy delayed service back to Paynton. Now, fortunately, the trains were being delayed on the Exmouth to Paynton workings because, unfortunately, there was a track circuit failure, which resulted in some trains starting and terminating at Topsham station instead. Anyway, go back to Paynton and yeah, just checked in the hotel. And yeah, that's day 2. Now moving on to day 3 of the holiday. Now, day 3 is 2 days merged into one big outing, let's say. One of the reasons for this was because the trains were on strike, which the dispute's still carrying on. But let's hope that these strikes will eventually come to an end. Anyway, to start the day, we decided to go exploring Devon. So we bought the Devon Day Region ticket, which for a card cost me £9. And for the first time, I went to the South Devon Railway. So we caught a GWR Class 158 service up to Newton Abbot. And from Newton Abbot, we then caught a cross-country service down to Totnes. And I will say the walk to Totnes Riverside Station was magnificent. It's very picturesque and very beautiful down there, and not too far away from Totnes Town Centre. From there, we bought an adult day worth of ticket, which means it travels many times up and down the line, and it was really good. Travelled on GWR tank locomotive. I think it was number 5526, I think it was. Down to Buckfordsley. Oh, I'm not too sure how you pronounce it, but it was worth it. Had a lovely ride down. And from there, we then explored, well, went for lunch and then explored the place. So we did, there's like a big garden railway that wasn't running, and a double gauge railway that wasn't running. Unfortunately, the heavens opened up, so the weather really did turn with torrential rain, so it couldn't be helped. Anyway, we then boarded the train going back to Totnes, and unfortunately, whilst we were on the train and filling out the steam locomotive that was supposed to have, it was shunting around. Unfortunately, my camcorder broke. But it wasn't broken. It turned out there's a little bit of water got into the system. I just needed drying out. So fortunately, it is still working. So plan B, I had to film on another device. But this second device, it's going to be revealed to you in hopefully 2023 of my brand new channel. So I think it's worth staying tuned for that. Anyway, go back to Totnes Riverside. Well, I'm 20 minutes late because our steam loco was called away to do some shunting. And rather than catching the train back, I did some research on that Stagecoach Gold. Operates the Gold service that was from Plymouth to Paynton via Totnes. So fortunately, we got there around about 20-minute wait for the next bus. They were every 30 minutes, and that took us back to Paynton. So the bus in question was Scania N230 UD. It was actually very nice, very comfortable seating as well. Just hear jet flying in the background. That was on a Friday. And now it's Saturday. Now for the Saturday, we had to go to our second holiday location, and that was to London. Now, with the trains on strike, there was no trains running in and out at all of Paynton, apart from I think it's called the Kingsway Railway, or the Dartmoor Railway. Can't be 100% sure. That was from Paynton to Kingsway, and they could ride on the oldest traditional steam ferry as well. Anyway, we caught National Express coach number 501 service that was from Totnes through to London Victoria. The coach picked up a few places along the way. Picked up a Torquay, on the outskirts of Newton Abbot, and of course Exeter. And first impressions, travelling out National Express, the coach was very comfortable. Leather seating, even Wi-Fi was available. It was a very comfortable coach. Now, unfortunately, we did have a few problems on the road, which unfortunately those problems on the M5, so the coach had to divert via the A303, and before joining the M4, travelling via Basingstoke, before we got to Heathrow Central. And with the trains on strike, Heathrow Central was chaotic. But because of problems on the M5, our coach was an hour late, but it couldn't be helped. Will I travel National Express again? I think I would. Anyway, from Heathrow Central, but then caught a very different bus, which took us to the hotel, bus service 4 for First Berkshire, to our travel lodge in Langley. I couldn't believe the bus we had. I think it was an X60 something worth, I think. And it was a street light. Yeah, we had a street light bus, which took us to the travel lodge. So that was very lucky. And travel lodge, lucky about one of the better rooms because we're seeing planes taking off from Heathrow Airport. So that was quite fortunate. And that is day 3. Now moving on to day 4 of this holiday. And for the 4th day, which was on a Monday, we went to London. So we caught the Elizabeth line service down to London Paddington. We then caught a Hammersmith City / Circle Line service to Baker Street, and then from there we then caught another Circle Line train, which took us to our first train spot location, London Euston. Now, when I spoke to station staff, bizarrely, they said, well, I spoke to Network Rail staff even, bizarrely they said go speak to station staff. Because signing at London terminals normally have no problems at all, but this one seemed very problematic. By the way, for an hour, we managed to get away with it. So we managed to get away with it for an hour at London Euston. Between platforms 12 and 13 we went. It was good to see the London Overground's new train, the Class 710s, in 4 or 5 coach variation, work alongside the Class 378s, between Watford Junction and London Euston. Plenty of 350 Desiros and 390 Pendolinos. So that was really good. Next, we then travelled to the London Transport Museum, which this time managed to go in. Now, when I bought my adult ticket, the ticket is valid for a whole year, which means you don't have to pay again for another year. So, some stages next year, I am hoping to do maybe like a full week in London, and that's one places I will definitely be revisiting. I will say, spent a good 3 hours in the Transport Museum, which was excellent. I've had a lovely time, although I got rather carried away by time, because we stayed there till close. Then afterwards, and after hearing from a relative, to go to Stratford to go see Robert, the Bristol-built steam locomotive. So we caught the, I think we caught North Piccadilly line, I think it was, and then we changed for the Central line, take us to Stratford. And from Stratford, we did see it. We saw Robert on display. Unfortunately, part of it has been graffitied over. I know, we hate vandals like that. But I'm not entirely sure why it's on display there. Still can't figure out. Anyway, from there, I decided to buy a bunch of flowers for a relative. As a way of saying thank you. For allowing me to go see them. So, that was really good. Anyway, when I caught a Greater Anglia Class 720 service down to London Liverpool Street. 720 is becoming more and more common now for Greater Anglia. I will say, trains sounds very comfy, but the only downside is that they have no table seats. So that's a bit of a down mark really for the 720s. Anyway, we managed to get out for London Liverpool Street. decided to knock off an hour by getting an hour's worth of ultimate announcements from there, which was really, really good. After that, we then travelled via the Elizabeth line to take us to London Paddington. Now, by the time this video goes out, hopefully the extension through to let's say to Reading from Stratford should be open. It is rumoured it's due to open some point in November, so it's worth keeping an eye out for. Although unfortunately I don't think I'll get time to go down there this year, but maybe next year. Anyway, from there I'm going to change for the Elizabeth line train to get us back to Langley, and yeah, that's day 4. Now, moving on to day 5 of the holiday, the 5th and final day. After day 5, we had a little bit of time to go into London. So, after a good breakfast and relatives, we then caught the Elizabeth line service into London Paddington. From there, we then went to the one station I was very interested in filming at, and that's Stratford. So we caught the Elizabeth line service all the way through to London Liverpool Street before changing for the Greater Anglia class 321s to take us to London, to take us to Stratford. Now, there isn't many Greater Anglia class 321s left in service, sadly, because most of them have been put into storage, which is on the outskirts of Selby. I've forgotten the name of the sidings, but most of them are stored there. Anyway, Stratford station, absolutely an incredible station. Very busy for an hour as well. A lot of variety you can get in an hour. We saw a few class 720s. The other bonus was seeing the Elizabeth line class 315 as well, which I think that those particular units were only on for training purposes, for driver training / route learning purposes. We also saw the 720 making to the sidings, 745 speeding through on Norwich to London Liverpool Street working, but the big bonus, finally catching off guard, we saw the gbrf class 47 dragging at Eastman's Railway class 360, which was bound for Cricklewood Depot. So it's really good to see. It's very unusual to say Desire was working on Midland Main Line. And after Stratford, but then had very little time to do the sightseeing. I was very pushed for time this day, but we caught the Central Line all the way to Oxford Circus. Well, from there I decided to get some lunch from McDonald's, but it was really busy, but I just went with it anyway. And we had our lunch, and then we decided to go down to Westminster very, very quickly, and we did some sightseeing from there. Not Westminster, what was it called? I think it was Embankment. It's one of the 2 stations anyway, can't be too sure. But anyway, very quick time to do sightseeing there, very, very quick. So we got what we needed, and before we went up back to the London Underground, and we caught the Bakerloo line. Now, unfortunately, there was earlier signalling problems that was causing major delays to the Bakerloo line, but fortunately, by the time I got there, it cleared up, so the Bakerloo line was back on. What else did we do? Oh yeah, called that back to Paddington, and then from there we called the Elizabeth line back to Langley. And then after a few hours, after saying the goodbyes, and after a relative gave me a lift back to Langley station, when they called the Elizabeth line train into London Paddington, and from there when I caught the Hammersmith City / Circle Line service to King's Cross. So for King's Cross, luckily we had a good 40-45 minutes to wait it, so we had plenty of time. And the journey back, what a treat we had in store. Because journey back, we caught the 1927 Grand Central service, nevertheless. That was working the service from London King's Cross to Sunderland. Our train as far as York, it was and I will say, Grand Central's gone above and beyond refurbishing their trains. For standard class, you get leather seating. If that was like a standard class, imagine first class. They really have gone above and beyond expectations, Grand Central has. And first time riding them in over 7 years. Because last time I did it was via HST to Firsk back in 2015. Anyway, it was a good ride back. We had a few minor delays, but nothing too dramatic. We got to York on time, which was good. Then from York, and the journey back home, and then caught the 2217 Transpennine Express Nova Free service, working York to Scarborough service. And then from Scarborough, we then caught we were very fortunate, but we made it with 3 minutes spare. We managed to catch the last 7A bus, which was about 200 mmc. And that's it for this holiday. Whew, that's a big conclusion. And yeah, what a treat. 2 holidays this year. Who would have thought it? 2 grand holidays we had this year. What a treat. And that's it for this one. So, thank you very much for watching. You can follow me on Twitter and Nowis Wiki. All the normal links can be found in the description below. And I'll see you all in the next one.